What's good, YouTube? In this video we'll be taking a look at Bixby Camera Commands for Samsung phones. This will go over a list of camera commands that you can use on recent Samsung phones. If you like this kind of content, leave a message down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. So Bixby has come a long way since it was initially released, and what just started out as a pretty poor counterpart to several other voice assistants has become a pretty robust feature on newer Samsung phones. And in the same way that Samsung's cameras have improved, Bixby has really taken a lot of strides in terms of being able to control your camera with your voice. So we'll start out with a list of commands here. The first thing that you want to do is to be able to open up your camera app using Bixby on your phone. So what you want to do is say something like, "Hey Bixby, open up the camera app." Open up the camera app. And as you can see, Bixby will open up the camera app. From the camera app, you have a variety of basic functions that you can use to control the camera with your voice. This is helpful if you're holding the phone, or if you have the phone set up or propped up somewhere and you want to take a picture of yourself or a group. So we'll try to take a picture here, and you can say something like, "Hey Bixby, take a photo. Take a picture." And as you can see, Bixby will take a photo. You can take it a step further if you want to use Pro mode, and you can say something like, "Hey Bixby, take a photo in Pro mode." And in a very slick way, Bixby will change the camera app to Pro mode and take a photo with your settings in Pro mode. One of the cool things about Bixby is that you don't actually have to be in the camera app to trigger some of these actions. So if we're in the home screen here or in another part of the phone and you want to take a photo, you can say something like, "Hey Bixby, take a photo." And you'll notice that Bixby will load up the camera app and take a photo even if you're not in the camera app. In the same way, you can ask Bixby to take videos from your camera app as well. So let's say we're in the home screen or another part of our phone and you want to say something like, "Hey Bixby, take a video." And then Bixby will immediately start taking a video. If you have a newer Samsung camera with different modes, you can also trigger some of the different camera modes. We've seen Pro mode before, but you can actually do the same thing with Portrait mode as well. So we'll say something like, "Hey Bixby, take a photo in Portrait mode." And as you can see, Bixby will trigger Portrait mode and take a photo with the camera app. Bixby is also very useful for adjusting certain camera settings on the fly as well. So if you set up your shot but want to adjust certain settings, Bixby really allows you to have some flexibility in doing so. So let's say we want to have a camera timer for 10 seconds on the phone. You can say something like, "Hey Bixby, set the camera timer for 10 seconds.
Done. The timer set.
And Bixby will take a photo with camera timer of 10 seconds on your next shot. This is also pretty useful for several other camera features as well that doesn't relate to just taking a photo or taking a video. If you want to apply filters, Bixby can do so as well and set filters on the fly using your voice. So you can say something like, "Hey Bixby, apply the deep filter." And as you can see, Bixby will go through your filters and apply the filters that you've used with your Bixby command. This works for other filters that you have in your filters tray as well. So you can say something like, "Hey Bixby, apply the shadows filter." And thankfully, Bixby will search for the appropriate filter and apply it on your photos. If you have something like Pro Mode on several of the newer Samsung phones, then you can actually adjust some of these Pro settings on the fly using Bixby and using your voice. So you can say something like, "Hey Bixby, adjust the brightness in Pro Mode." And as you can see, Bixby will start to adjust the settings that you've indicated in Pro Mode. So there you have it, everyone. Bixby has certainly come a long way over the several iterations that Samsung has been improving it. And it really does allow you to use your camera using your voice and also adjust some very useful camera settings using your voice on the fly. So what do you think? How does Bixby stack up in terms of camera control versus other voice assistants? Do you have any other commands that you know about for the camera and Bixby? Leave a message down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.